Hello home. Just making a video because I've been super slack and lazy all day. I haven't got out of bed. I'm still in my pajama pants on in bed. Because yesterday I went to Carnaval, which is kind of a festival that I'll explain later. But like we haven't got to go to school all week because Carnival's on, so it's kind of like a big deal in Belgium, I guess. And I got home yesterday, like last night, like 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and I didn't make the video straight away, like I have been doing for everything. And then today I spent all day in bed and haven't done it, and I'm being really slack. So right now I'm talking about it because I'm going back tomorrow, so I don't want to have to like do 2 days and then just get all confused and stuff. So I went with my host brother of my 4th family. His name's Jeremy, but in French that's like Jeremy. I can't say it. I can't make noise, which is really difficult. But we went to Belge. I don't really know where it is. It's a town, 30 k's away maybe. Maybe not that far. It's close. Far for you. To a festival. Now, I got explained to it in French. I was a bit iffy about what was going on, but everyone seemed excited, so, you know, it's always a good sign. So it was like the beginning of a religious festival, I think. I still really don't know the origins. I have a bag full of pamphlets in English, which we got there. Got at the festival, which Jeremy organised, but I haven't read them yet, which is my homework for today, he told me, and I still haven't done that, so. Apparently I have a test tomorrow on this. Good luck remembering. So yeah, and it was really cool. Everyone got dressed up in costumes. There are these things called bands, but I don't really know what the bands were. I think it's kind of like the Beardies Festival, where like there's all the different clubs and they all do the float thing. So everyone had costumes. So they were like hectic into it. Like, so there was like apparently they do different costumes throughout the week. So on the day I was there, it was Sunday, and I don't see. There was a group as Kinder Surprise eggs. They had these big eggs on. There was another band that were dressed as like the Belgian flag, kind of, was how to explain, with umbrellas and stuff. There was a Hunger Games one, and they were all dressed up as the tributes, and they were like full, like they would go all out. Like the dictator was one of my favourites. Like there was one of them, and everyone was dressed as the dictator with like the beard and the white suit and the white hat. But they weren't like tacked up at home costumes. They were like professional, and everyone had exactly the same costume on. Yeah, really, really cool. And so it was like they just walked around all day to a drum, the beat of a drum. And it was packed. The entire town was packed. You went down the street and it was packed, and like we all had to hold hands to walk and stuff because you just get lost in the people. And part of the thing is you'd walk around and you'd stop at different pubs and have beers, a bit like a pub crawl. So we're doing that as well, and to get into a pub was ridiculous. Like, you couldn't get in, and you just had to push and push. And it wasn't like people were just being rude and saying it. There was physically, like, shoulder to shoulder, not enough space for you. So you had to kind of, like, sandwich past someone, and then they would pop into your space and you'd pop into theirs. It was hectic. It was really, really hectic. Some places were doing, like, people walking around with, like, beers, like, on trays, like waiters. You'd buy beer that way, so like they could kind of get to you, so everyone wasn't trying to get to the bar. But I've never seen anything like it. And apparently there's something about oranges involved, and oranges are good luck. I don't really understand what happens, but I'm assuming they're going to get thrown at some point because all the buildings in the town had like these chicken wire cages that they'd all put up around the town. All the buildings, just the windows and stuff, to stop them being broken by oranges. But apparently the main day of the festival is Tuesday, so that's where I'm heading off tomorrow. And I was going to go with Jeremy, but he is going at 4:30 a.m, which means we'd have to leave here at like 4 a.m, and I just was not down for that. So I'm going to go down later. Going to go later. On in the day with with some other guys here from Rotary, I guess, and I'll meet Jeremy there. Because yeah, and the main parade is tomorrow, and apparently they all wear the same like a different uniform, and there's something about traditional ostrich feathered headgear and whatnot. So, I mean, I'll make another video about tomorrow night or something later on, because hopefully I like understand more. But and yesterday I went to have Chinese for the first time since I left Australia. So happy, God, I love Chinese. But we're in the Chinese restaurant and Jeremy knocks my drink over, and and everyone's looking at us, and I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that. And then this woman tells us in French that something, and I didn't understand. And then Jeremy said, oh, she's from Australia and she speaks English. So then she repeats that because I knocked my drink over, I had to shout the entire restaurant their meal. And this restaurant is packed, like, it was so full, and we were laughing. Anyway, and then they spoke a bit of English, and they were just kept looking at me. So then I went over with like a little koala key ring and a bit of Vegemite, and they had a little girl with them. She would have been like 7, 8, maybe older. So I gave her these, and they were very cool like that. And then was going to pay, and I almost paid with Australian dollars. Like, I pulled money out of the wallet, and it was a $20 note. I was like, oh, no, not that one. They were looking at me, and they asked if they could have a look at my Australian money. So I looked at them. And then the man there bought some Australian money off me. So I had like 2 $1 coins and 2 20-cent pieces and 2 5-cent pieces. And so he just bought all the doubles off me for like €5. So something that was worth like maybe €1, he just paid like heaps more for. And I was like, oh, it's fine, just take them. But he wanted to pay for them, so that was a bit funny. And what else happened? Oh, and then so by this stage there was a few other tables that had started looking at us. And then the Chinese cook from out the back comes out the front, and she's going, oh my goodness, you're an Australian, and blah, blah, blah. And then she goes, this is all in French, I don't really know what's going on. And then she goes, ask Jeremy what language they speak in Australia. So she didn't even know what language I spoke, but she was excited to see me. That was cool. But then we were all like, oh, okay, we're going to go now. So we're like, au revoir. And the entire restaurant have been like, say goodbye. Like the entire restaurant was like, oh, bye, au revoir. And it was so funny. And Jeremy's just like, you very quickly just become the centre of attention in a restaurant, like the main attraction. And I was like, that was funny. So that was a bit cool. It was my first experience in Belgium where I was like, it was so different and special. Because at my school, there's another Australian, there's, 2 or 3 other exchange students, there's an American and some Mexicans. So at school, I'm not like super special, super different. Like, I mean, they're interested in where I come from and stuff like that. But, yeah, not really such a novelty. Which is not a bad thing either, because I don't know how well I could deal with attention at school all the time, because it's hard enough when a few people try and talk to me. And then at the pub, at this other pub, and it kind of settled down a little bit. It was later in the afternoon. I think there was some like a parade or something going on, so people had places to be. This man started talking to me and told me he just got back from 8 weeks in Australia. So, oh yeah, that's cool. And, he's telling me about his trip, and that was good, telling me where he went. He went to Perth, Melbourne, Canberra. No, he didn't go. Yeah, Canberra, Cairns. Went all around. Long way. And then he said, do I like Belgium? I said, oh yeah, I love it. It's really beautiful. The people are really nice. And then he went in for a full hour. Oh, we were talking about for 20 minutes. The next hour was spent him trying to convince me that I was an idiot for coming to Belgium. I should go back to Australia as soon as possible. And Belgium was bad. And Australia was great. And so I'm there going, oh yeah, you're right. But, no. And he said he was in the process of trying to move to Australia full time. So, I mean, but he was telling me the most absurd, like some things, yeah, I can kind of say that. But some of the most absurd things of why Australia was better than Belgium, but it was quite entertaining. And later on, Jeremy told me that he was glad that I found someone to talk to, because he was getting sick of talking in English. Because he doesn't think he's very good, but I know what he's talking about. But, so that was interesting. Which was also a bit funny. What else? I don't know what else I had to tell you. Some exciting stuff. I was going to do this at the end, and it probably is the end, but I'm not sure yet. Because I'm not at home and I'm not like the greatest at composing large, long birthday messages on Facebook, I'm really slack like that. I thought that every week I will do the last week of birthdays, happy birthday messages. So today it is Xanthi's birthday. Happy 18th, Xanthi. I love you, I miss you. And like I said on Facebook, hasn't snowed since I've been here. It snowed the first probably 3 or 4 days I was here, or a week. But after that I haven't seen the snow. It's been all, not snowless. A few bits of snow, but it hasn't settled. And then this morning I woke up to I don't know, a fair bit of snow on the ground. It had settled quite significantly, so that was cool. So snow for you. And happy birthday to Crystal Horvath on Saturday, 3 days ago, I don't know. Happy 19th. I hope you had a good day. Last year on your birthday you bit me. That was my first Horvath event and I got bitten. But I forgive you. I'm lucky you're my favourite sister-in-law. Are you my only... Oh no, Sarah. I shouldn't have said that. Anyway, I'm glad that you had a nice birthday. You're getting old. And finally...